So in order to drain the coolant, first remove the plastic cap of the coolant reservoir right on the top. Then come down to the left side of the car, or the driver's side, and then in this corner there's gonna be a plastic type screw right there. It needs to be loosened up. Needs to be doesn't have to be taken out, just a couple of twists. It's kind of hard because this intercooler elbow thing is in the way, but after a few turns it's gonna start draining and be ready to have a container to catch up all the coolant. I was able to catch about 3 liters, but right now, okay, seems like everything drained. We're good to go. Alright, so after draining the coolant, I came and removed the water pump. Water pump is held by 3 10mm bolts and 1 10mm nut. So, cool thing about this water pump is that it has an area where you can spray it out. Once you start playing and actually installing the water pump, a lot of coolant will come out of this area as well. So be ready to have something to catch it. I guess another liter or 2 I think came out of this area, but once you free it out, it's good. I just feel like kind of a bump, like it doesn't spin like really freely, so I don't know if that will be a failing point soon, but so far it seems okay, all in one piece. This is the area used to spray it out, which is pretty cool. And then after I went ahead and removed all the remaining of the gasket, well, pretty much the silicone, the RTV, I guess they use gasket maker. So I did remove it, clean it, and it seems to be good to go. Just in order to start assembling everything again. Alright, I'm finally getting ready to install the new water pump. This is the new water pump, this is the old one. It looks exactly the same. It's always good to double check, right, just to make sure that it's the right part. So I'm gonna be using an RTV gasket maker, high temp. I'm gonna use this track as a reference. Put it all around, and it might go up to 1 or 2 millimeters, or 1/4 of an inch over. And then after installing it, it's gonna squeeze it out. It's gonna seal it fine. By the way, in order to get that area ready for the new water pump, I use a scraper blade to remove the old gasket. It came off pretty easily, and whatever is the remaining. And I found some rusty spots around. I used this cuffing pad just around, and then after I used a little bit of brake cleaner and a towel just to get rid of the any debris that was left from sanding. But other than that, it seems we're good to go. Right. So now that the new water pump is installed, according to the instructions of the RTV, the bolts need to be tightened just by hand. Wait an hour before it gets torqued to spec. Meanwhile, in that hour, it's a great opportunity to actually take this. This is the Multiair filter, which is located, zoom it right there, located right there. So I know that sometimes you can remove it and clean it up, but I just decided to get a new one because of this O-ring. I don't know the condition of that O-ring, and of course and the dealer they won't sell you just the O-ring by itself, the whole piece. That's okay. This was like $25 Canadian, and so that gets removed with the 10mm hex socket, which I have it here. Yeah, it's actually a good opportunity to see how dirty that is. All right. So the multi-air filter came out. Looks pretty good actually. It's not dirty at all. I honestly expected it will be way more like full of debris or anything like that, but you can see it's pretty good. Anyways, I have a new one. So this new one, O-ring needs to be lubricated with engine oil, clean. Right here. There you go, that's the O-ring being lubricated, and it's installed. Then after that, let's see how this goes. There you go. Then it gets torqued to 27 Newton meters or 20 foot-pounds of torque. I have it here. Yeah. Before I actually go for it. Time to torque the bolts in the water pump. Water pump has been sitting for over an hour. Spins freely. It's a good sign. So the bolts get torqued to 10 Newton meters. Fortunately, this is the only torque wrench I have. It's a quarter inch. But the farthest it goes is to 9 Newton meters, so I might just make it go a little bit farther.